Welcome to Personal Vlog number 9. This one, as I'll time it with the end of October here, Halloween as adult in 2018. My take on Halloween, which personally, at this stage in my life now, being that I'm happily single here and I got career work responsibilities here, especially if it falls during the week like it does this year, it's just pretty much another day in the calendar. I mean, I definitely well beyond the age of trick-or-treating, and the only time maybe I can relive trick-or-treating again, dressing up as a ghost or goblin, is if I ever had kids of my own and I took them out trick-or-treating with them to relive it. But I don't think that's going to happen, at least not anytime soon here. But Halloween as adult, I mean, I guess I could still maybe say you could see some fun in it with seeing the decorations, doing Halloween movies, and especially when I go to sporting events. I mean, this past weekend, at the the Hitman game that I was at, some people are all dressed up, getting ready to go to parties and that. But Halloween also seems to be an excuse for people to act like idiots too, which I definitely don't have tolerance for that anymore. But ever since I moved out on my own, I've never really done anything extra special on Halloween, because it's usually another day in the calendar. And I used to live in a townhouse before I moved in the apartment, but I never had trick-or-treaters in my house. I never had my lights on to begin with. I remember growing up that go to houses that if it has lights on, it's clear there's activity, especially if it's all dressed up and decorations and that. You go to that house, if there's no lights on, then you don't bother going there. But I never had anyone come to my door trick or treat, and definitely won't now, being in an apartment and that. But that's the other thing too, is when you got to be up early for work and that. When it falls during the week, it you got to be up early, so a lot of these things are too late for me. But still had some fun with Halloween. I remember growing up, actually here in Calgary, there was a couple of years that it was too cold to go out trick-or-treating because of blizzards and snowstorms. But actually, it's been a very long time since we've had one in Calgary where there was a snowstorm on Halloween. But you get the cool crisp morning, sun setting. I had a few years that I dressed up as ghosts or goblins. I remember one year I was a pirate. Another year, those masks, they get too hot and uncomfortable after a while when you have to put one over your head and that. But being a sports fan as I am, there was actually one year that I actually went as a football player, believe it or not. So that's reminiscing about Halloween in the past, when it was more fun as a kid, where you dressed up to go to school. This is where I don't get why people call it a holiday, where it's like, it's generally more of a kid's thing. I know it celebrates All Saints Day, which is always the first day in November, which is why Halloween is on the end of October, and it spawns all the Rise of the Devil and that. And Jim Henson had that. Yeah, I believe it's Jim Henson, but The Nightmare Before Christmas, that's kind of that's definitely a classic, and it sort of is. And the other thing with Halloween is it's the second most decorative occasion, only behind Christmas. And I think it's one little fun in before the winter comes and Christmas comes. And the other thing, I think the news, sometimes they make too big of a deal about kids and candy and teeth. It's like, well, let the kids be kids. Obviously expect candy, but they make it sound like that, one night kids eating candy is like, oh, they screwed up their teeth and mouth for the rest of their life. You know, and some dentists, you know, it's like you trade in, like, I don't know what they do trading candy for that, but it's like, gee, as a freaking adult, I'll trade in candy so I can have free checkups even with my insurance. I'll buy them, so here's all the candy I want. But, you know, that's the other thing too, is, you know, if you buy your candy and it's not going to eat itself, but, you know, we still have a little fun at work. Some people dress up, but, you know, it's generally a little more relaxed atmosphere. You know, judge people's costumes, those are dressed up, but, I mean, I don't know if Jim Rome, I used to listen to Jim Rome, but I always like to listen to his annual rant about Halloween, people dressing up to work. If you're in your Halloween costume at work, you're a loser. But I mean, that's Jim Rome. He likes to stir the pot. He's definitely, I mean, he talks sports, but yeah, I mean, that's definitely my take on Halloween. Is I feel that, you know, it's just another day in the calendar. If I gotta get up, go to work, just like any other day. I might have a little fun with Halloween if I'm at a sporting event and it actually was Halloween the day of it, but you know, it just tells me that October is over and November is always the big breakup month for me. But that's definitely my personal log, and you know, reminisce a little about having fun on Halloween. But you know, when you get older, and then all your friends get older, and they have their responsibilities and careers and lives to manage and different work schedules, which, I mean, it makes it hard to, you know, relive Halloween as an adult because everybody's too busy, and, you know, unless you have a family of your own, I think it's always just going to be the end of the month. Tells me October is over, November is tomorrow. That's what Halloween is an adult to me, but I guess you can still have the fun with the decorations and the horror movies and that. And as if you watched my Calgary Stampeders month about October and the way how things went for Calgary that month and how the playoff races are heating up, there were definitely some Halloween cliches I threw in that video. But you know, that's all I could talk about for Halloween as an adult in 2018. I'm not too sure if depending on how long I keep making YouTube videos, but maybe this could be an annual thing, whatever personal vlog I'll be at this time next year. But anyway, if you enjoy all my videos, personal vlogs, sports takes, you know, scenery videos, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and I got everything saved in playlists, and you know, that's where you can go find the particular content. But anyway, I'll see you at the next video.